Without volunteers, Carousel of the Nations could not happen, and Carousel at Home certainly couldn't happen either. We head out to the Hungarian village now to meet up with a volunteer who has been part of Carousel of the Nations every year for the past 45 years.
Hello, my name is Isabella, and it's my pleasure to welcome you at this year's Carousel at Home here at the virtual Hungarian village. We really appreciate this opportunity, this very unique opportunity to showcase our culture, and we want to thank the Multicultural Council for making it happen. Today, we've put together a short performance for you. It is going to feature some of our Hungarian delicacies and some of our Hungarian dancers. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Lydia, and I'm a frequent volunteer at the food sales held here at the Hungarian Cultural Center. So today, in honor of the Carousel at Home celebration, I'm going to be talking about a Hungarian food called lángos. So what exactly is lángos? Well, in simple terms, I could describe it as fried dough, which used to be baked as a form of bread in Hungary back in the day. So the name lángos actually comes from the word láng, which in Hungarian means flame, and refers to the way it used to be baked next to an open flame. So, in addition to being widely popular in Hungary, lángos is actually found in many regions surrounding Hungary, including Romania, Serbia, and Slovakia. So how is this popular creation made, and how is it eaten? So the 4 ingredients you need to make lángos are flour, salt, water, and yeast. So it's actually quite simple. You take the yeast and you add the water, and then you let it rise. Similarly, you then add the flour and the salt, and you let it rise again. After this, you knead the dough and you cut it into smaller pieces. And finally, you take these smaller pieces and you fry them in oil. So it's quite simple when you break it down, really. Another interesting thing about lángos is actually how many different toppings you can eat it with. So I'd say the most traditional would be garlic sauce or sour cream, while the less conventional would be powdered sugar or really anything sweet. And while we all can maybe have differing opinions on which topping is the best, which variation tastes the best, I think the one thing we can all agree on is just how good lángos tastes. Hi, my name is Monica, and I'm here on behalf of the Sikra Hungarian Dance Group. Thank you so much for tuning into Carousel at Home at the Hungarian Village. For those of you who have seen us dance in previous years, probably know a little bit about us, but for those of you who have just heard about us for the first time, let me give you a brief history about our group. We are a small group of about 10 dancers aged 14 to 24, and although we've always been small in size, we definitely make up for it in terms of our enthusiasm and love for Hungarian folk dance and culture. Our group was formed in 2012, about 8 years ago, and I'm very pleased to say that the majority of our original members are actually still part of it today. We have gained and lost dancers over the years, but we've had incredible luck in gaining 2 new dance instructors, Kimberly and Victor Kish, who come from the US every Saturday morning to teach us dance, and whose passion for Hungarian folk dance is unmatched. Gaining 2 new dance teachers is not the only change that our group has experienced recently. We have also decided to rename ourselves from Kisharang, which translates to little bells, to Sikra, which translates to spark in Hungarian. We thought that the name Spark was a very fitting name for a group whose passion for Hungarian folk dance and culture was as strong as ours. Now, if you have seen our group dance in previous shows, you've probably noticed that a characteristic element of Hungarian folk dance lies in its variety. Dances from different regions of Hungary differ greatly in their stylistic elements and also the music that accompanies them. Unfortunately, today, we will not be able to provide you with a full performance of several of our dances. However, you will see a legényes, a men's solo dance, which was Transylvanian in origin, performed by a couple of our Sikra dancers today.
Hi, my name is Xena, and I'm a volunteer at the Hungarian Center. I've volunteered for many events, including food sales, where one of our most popular dishes is the Hungarian goulash, or gulyás. Gulyás comes from the word gulya, which means cattle in Hungarian, and it was first made by gulyás, or cattle herders, basically shepherds, or like cowboys, but in Hungary. They made this soup out of beef, usually beef shank, and they would make it in these big pots called bogrács, and we still make it that way today. Lots of families gather together almost like for like a barbecue, and we make gulyás together in these big pots over a fire. First, you simmer onions, like saute onions in fat or oil, and then you add the chunks of meat. You cook the meat in the onions and the oil, and after you add the water and bring it to a boil, then you add vegetables such as celery, carrots, sometimes peppers, and potatoes. At the Hungarian Center, we make it that way. And last but not least, you have the csipetke, which is a Hungarian egg noodle, and it's called csipetke because you pinch it. You make it by pinching the noodle off, and csipet actually means pinch. So csipetke is like pinched noodles. And once you pinched off all your little bits of noodles, you put them into the boiling soup, and it cooks while the soup is cooking. And gulyás is not just found in Hungary, it's spread to the surrounding regions in Europe and beyond. And it's made in many different styles and variations. The one I explained was how we make it at the Hungarian Center, but in other regions of Hungary and beyond, it can be made in many different variations. But one thing is for sure, no matter how you make it, gulyás brings people together.
Hello, I am Gabriella Garabon from the Hungarian Cultural Center. I am very proud to say that I have been there at the Carrousel of the Nations when it started, at the very beginning. And all the year since then, I have worked every year in the Carrousel of Nations. I have a few pictures to show you what happened in those days. The very first picture is about the first celebration of nationalities. In those days, the Parade of Nations started downtown on University Avenue and followed to Ambassador Bridge. After the parade, the festivities continued downtown on Riverside Drive and Olette. There were booths set up, and people sold their authentic foods. The second picture shows the Hungarian float in the second year of the festivities. The third picture is located in the Hungarian Cultural Center on the side street on Marentet, because we closed off the street for the traffic, and we located 3 booths there for food and drinks, and we also placed tables and chairs outside of the building, and even our dance group performed there. There was one year when we had a stage set up on the street.